Memphis is the home of the blues, rock and roll, and Earle Farrell.
From the Collierville Square to the mighty Mississippi, the Earle Farrell for Memphis show is all about good things that happen across the Bluff City and the people who make Memphis cool.
The Earle Farrell for Memphis show is made possible by our title sponsor, Southern Security Federal Credit Union, and by Kathy Thurman Edwards, State Farm Insurance.
By Dive Shop and Dive Ventures nationwide. Jim Karras Chevrolet with George Gully. Napa Cafe Memphis and Glenda Hastings. Phoenix Unequaled Home Entertainment. For Memphis Magazine. The Live at the Garden Concert Series. And the Orpheum Theater Group Memphis. And by Mitch Wright Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Family owned and operated for more than 40 years. Thank you to all the sponsors for making this possible.
And now, coming to you from Lansky Brothers, Clothier to the King, inside the world-famous Peabody Hotel with the heart of a cowboy and Memphis in his soul. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, Earle Farrell.
And thank you very much, and welcome into Lansky's. And our special guest this afternoon is Natalie Wilson, who's the executive director of the Overton Park Shell. I've known her for many years. Before that, she was at Shelby Farms, worked with my son, who he and his partner ran the riding stables. And Natalie ran everything else. And so she has a lot of experience in dealing with lots of people, and it really was not that big a change for you, though, going because you had so many events at Shelby Farms, many of them music events. Right. So going to the Overton Park Shell was just a progression in your career.
It was an extension of my passion for these public spaces that are so integral to our livable experience in Memphis. So it was just an extension of a green space to another green space, but has this cultural icon, the Overton Park Shell, on it. Just incredible.
And one of the really unusual things about the Shell is most of your events are free.
Right.
I mean, who does that?
90% of what we give is a gift to the city, and it's free of charge and accessible for everybody. It's very unique.
Let's get into the history, which is also very unique. It was actually built by I forget what the CCC?
WPA.
Yeah.
Roosevelt administration, yes.
And these were people, there was the Depression, and especially so many young people couldn't find jobs.
Right.
And so they hooked up with this workforce that was all over the nation. In fact, they built the Overton Park Shell. They built John F. Kennedy State Park over at Heber Springs.
Right.
There were projects all over this country. Many of them are gone now.
Right.
But many of them, like the Overton Park Shell, are still around and have been much improved from the early days.
Well, and it's the brilliance of the WPA was not only putting people back to work, but inspiring community and trust back into the government, because there was so much in the Depression, there was so much homelessness, there was so much hunger. And so it was a way of putting citizens back to work, but also creating spaces that can bring people together to build community. For the Shell, we were one of 38 spaces across the country. We were built to build community through access to the performing arts free of charge. 1936, we opened our doors, and just as relevant today in 2025, a building community free of charge using music as a catalyst.
But what a place to put it, Overton Park.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this, that it was actually designed by the same guy that was the architect for Central Park in New York.
And Graceland.
And I did not know that about
Yes,
Graceland.
so the connection of Elvis Presley to throughout the city, but to the Overton Park Shell and his beginnings, it's the same architect. It's a neat story.
But it has been much improved, as I mentioned before. The
Right.
first thing you guys did when it came back is took the concrete bleachers out.
Right.
And make it accessible to blankets and lawn chairs and picnic baskets, and really opened it up a lot more.
Well, and people tell me all the time, I miss the benches, but I always say to them, the benches are still on property. We have them to the right side of the stage as a reminder of its time with benches. But it's like thousands can sit together, to your point, of blankets, chairs, whatever way they want to be. And it just forces us together in one space. And that the unifier is the music. It's the art form that we're providing. It brings people together. It's incredible.
And it is very diverse, the music you bring in. I mean, a lot of people think, what do they got for me? And
Yeah.
if you look at the lineup, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, but I just know over the years, you have Latin music, you have, soul music.
Yeah.
The Kutsu group that comes every year, and I think they're coming back again this year.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit of everything. And then you have something else that kind of goes on all the time is the museum backstage. Tell us about that.
Yes, we do. So in 2022, we came back to our historic name of the Overton Park Shell. We had been 10 years as the Levitt Shell, and we were grateful for that partnership. But during the pandemic, we envisioned that we could create a museum in the backstage that could tell the almost 90 years of history of the Shell, and that this history was not just about our little space, but the entire city as a whole. That this could be a way for us to tell the significance of our space, to advocate on our history, and educate people. So we opened it in 2022 as well, and our backstage experience tour brings visitors from around the world, locals, and we had a European group this weekend who came in between our concerts, who just wanted to come to Memphis, and they wanted to love Elvis and wanted to hear the story of the Shell and see the backstage where Elvis and countless other amazing artists have roamed. So it's in our backstage. It's neat.
Tell us about the Elvis show. There was Johnny Cash was there. Slim Whitman was the featured act.
Well, Elvis actually played twice. So his first performance was July 30th, 1954. He was 19 years old. He was a teenager. He was scared stiff. He had never performed live in outside, and he was opening for Slim Whitman. And the playbill misspelled his name as Ellis Presley. So he gets up on stage, and he's got his guitar, and he forgot his lyrics. And he is opening for Slim, and he said, my name is Elvis Presley. And the women went wild.
Wow.
And he looked around. Why? They look at me. He was wearing hot pink pants and these striped socks and these incredible, he just didn't look the part of opening for a yodeler in a country show. He was different. He was unique. He was special. And he played 2 songs. And women were crazy, screaming, and he went into the backstage, and he said to the promoter, I don't know what I did. And the promoter said, whatever you did, get back out there.
Keep doing it.
Do it again. So he went back out, did the same 2 songs, and it launched a star. It started his life. It created what we know as the incredible, iconic Elvis Presley in the history.
Well, here at Lansky's, you look around the store, and there are all these photographs of him in the early years and even some in the later years. He did not look like anybody else. And forget about the fact he dressed differently from anybody else.
Right.
There's this photographer that went with him on his first trip to New York and rode the train and took pictures of him all along the way. And it is amazing to look at this book. It was commissioned by RCA Records. And you can still buy the book. And it shows Elvis on the train, getting off the train at a train station, and where they had little stands where they sell sandwiches and fruit and stuff. And you look at the other people, they all look like people from that era.
Right.
And then you looked at Elvis and went, he's like a Martian. He looks so different from everybody else. It was Johnny Cash. I recently saw an interview with him. He said he was absolutely a beautiful person. In looks, he said, and for another guy to say that about another guy, but he really was.
He was. He was unique. He knew he had a vision for himself. He had a vision for his life and for Memphis that was his hometown in the way he saw his life. So, and you mentioned Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash also had his first concert at the Overton Park Shell. He was young as well, lived in Midtown, and he's opened, and there's a documentary on Cash, and he said, the Overton Park Show it launched my career, that first concert. So the way it's used today to emerging musicians, giving them a place, a stage, that many times we see them soar after they leave us, because we open the world to their craft, to their artistry, and it's really unique and special to be able to do that.
And you're still doing it. I remember there's a group a couple of years ago from Minneapolis. I can't remember the name. Kathy, remember them? They played there once, and people just went nuts. And then so that they stayed for a week after that, playing all different venues in Memphis. Mm-hmm. And then I think they've been coming back every year. I think they were from Minnesota. But so you're still introducing new acts and people that could one day be famous as well.
Yeah, we try to support every genre at the Shell. So absolutely every genre we display, we curate it. It's intentional because it's intentional about bringing all people together. We want everyone to come to the Shell to have a place. It's family friendly. It's open to all, sitting in a beautiful park, and that it's just an experience that we believe that Memphians and everyone deserves, but it's very few around the country can do what we're doing and making it free.
And you really changed the whole operation there, because I remember when they added those the lighting and the sound towers.
Yes.
And because there really were no lights before.
Not.
And then you lit the Shell itself, and you could change the colors in that.
Yeah.
It is really a show now.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's its own light show, as well as the great acoustics. It was built by, talking about the history, it was built to propel sound. It wasn't built to amplify sound the way we use it today, but it propels its own, as well as adding amplified sound. It is unbelievable how it just wraps around the bowl and all through Overton Park.
The every year, you come up with a different schedule, and I'm sure you try to introduce people from around the country. Is there a tour that people contact you guys? I'm sure it happens both ways, but
I'm constantly, people come to me personally or come to my team. We have a team that curates, and they've actually started. 2026 is in a big way because we turn 90 years old next year. So we are already booking the season. So booking at overtonparkshell.org for any new artists that want to give us some examples of their work. We require that artists be able to do 90 minutes of continual music, original music. Can't be. We do a little bit of cover, but very little. We want artists to showcase their work. We love singer-songwriters. We love that ability to have a unique sound and from others. So. And that they can showcase who they are as an artist.
Well, I bet there are a lot of people that say 90 minutes, and we got 8 good minutes.
Right.
And so that is a real qualifier.
Yeah. It is. And it's a big stage, and it's we average 3,000 people a night at our shows by average. And so it's a big commitment to play the Shell. And though we really have a commitment to local Memphis artists, 50% of our artists are Memphians, are Memphis artists now. So we bring artists from around the world, but we also focus on our local community.
I'm looking at your rundown. I mean, you this past weekend you had the Kudzu Kings.
Yes, they are amazing.
Then Memphis Power Pop Festival.
That's one that touts to our history. Did you know one of the genres that I always say was one of the first that the Shell helped start a genre, and that is power pop. It started with the band Big Star that played.
We got a Big Star fan here.
And that Big Star played the Shell. 10,000 people came together, and
Wow.
it was truly historic. And so we created a festival in honor of Big Star and the whole genre of power pop. This is we've done it 4 years. Next year will be the big 5th year anniversary of it. But we bring power pop. That's just an example of the unique ways we showcase genre.
September 12th, Shadow Grass.
Oh, they're amazing. Anyone is into Great Americana, that is a show to not miss. Friday night.
And then September 13th, Luca.
Luca is a Memphian. He's extremely talented hip-hop rap and has done so much for the hip-hop industry here in Memphis.
This next group, I love their name, September 19th, DJ Ad and the Vibe Tribe.
They are so much fun. Also Memphians, great local band, and just super talented use of DJ as well as a back house band. It's really fun. A lot of dancing. It will be one that people will be on their feet the whole time.
I think a lot of people think this happens on the weekend, but you got shows in there during the week. September 20th, Princeton James Productions Backyard Experience.
Yeah, it's going to include theater, musical theater, children, seniors. It's going to be all ages, and it's going to be a unique that will showcase theater along with music. Will be fun.
September 26th, Arkansas. Does that have anything to do with barbecue sauce?
They are amazing. They are great. Another Americana band that will be coming this fall. Very fun, popular.
And then is it Deisha McBride?
Yeah, this is her first tour We've been watching her for a long time. Extremely talented in Nashville, and we're bringing her here, and we just feel like she's a rising star.
Are you seeing more and more groups that are coming from Nashville to the Shell and to Memphis because it is so crowded in Nashville? And there's only so many venues.
Well, it's true. And what we're trying to do as Memphis musicians is we want to be able to not only send them, propel them out from Memphis, but also make it easy for touring musicians to get to Memphis. That we have incredible venues here. We're an alliance of venues. We really partner together. And that we don't want people to skip over Nashville, Little Rock, Chicago, and St. Louis. We want them to remember Memphis. We are we started music. We are this, I call the epicenter of worldwide music. Got the start here in Memphis.
And I'm hearing a lot from the different studios here that are Royals on fire. Arden just reopened with their new studios and new sound systems. And there are a lot of people that are not going to Nashville because they're kind of to mainstream the sound out of Nashville. Yeah. And Memphis is still, you can be creative here. And I keep hearing that over and over again, which is what you're doing. You're trying to be creative.
Absolutely. We do not have to be fit in a box. Memphians don't want to be fit in a box. We want to be we're our own vibe. We're our own city. And, we can use different catchy things that were the culture city or a city of soul. But to me, Memphis is different to everyone. And I am about propelling Memphis, get rid of the negativity about our city. The Shell is an example of the incredible things we have here. They have access to cultural icons, green spaces, repurposed places like Crosstown Concourse. We should be proud of our city. It has got so much to offer.
In fact, I came up with this several years ago, Memphis Cool. And it really is. It has a cool aspect to Memphis, just like Lansky's, the Peabody. No place in the world like either one of those, Graceland, the Shell. And Memphis doesn't really care whether you're rich, famous. Either they like you or they don't. And so you bring some new group to the Shell, and they'll be the judge of whether or not they're good.
They will, and they'll tell us. They'll get on social media and say, or they'll say, that was amazing. Please bring them back.
My producer here. He'll let you know in a heartbeat whether he likes it.
Right.
In September 28th, Goner Fest 22.
Oh, we are so excited about that. So Goner Fest is an annual festival here in the city by Goner Records. It's incredible. We envisioned, what would it be if we brought a free night of Goner Fest at the end of the festival, and it be at the Shell. So we're very honored to partner with Goner Records and their incredible team to bring Goner Fest, the free show, on the end of the festival on that Sunday night.
And then October 3rd, the New Respects.
Brought them back. They came to the Shell in 2022. They blew us away. Back to the example of these new artists, up and coming, don't know anything about them, have a small following. They come, they play, and now they've blown up. We're so honored to bring them back. They are young people with such talent. Every one of them are singer-songwriters on their own, much less coming together as the New Respects.
You really can't look at the youth or the even inexperienced, because look at some of the most famous people in the entertainment business historically. They were great at a very young age.
Yes.
And so it really is just give them a chance, give them a venue, put them out there, and let's see what you can do.
You give them a stage. Let them make a mistake one or two times until they can perfect their ability to perform, to capture an audience. Because that takes skill, but it takes an opportunity, giving them a space. So that's how we believe that access to artists from the Shell is very important. And, of course, we created Shell on Wheels for that example, too.
Taking the Shell
experience to everyone.
How far out does that range?
Shell on Wheels has blown our minds. We really envisioned in 2022, we thought if we built a mobile replica of the Shell, put the sound, lighting, and power inside of it, take it to all corners of Memphis and Shelby County, what would it do? Is there a way that a blighted neighborhood could have the Shell experience as magical as it is in Overton Park? Yes, we've seen it. We see it every weekend when we bring the mobile Shell, which is what the cornerstone of Shell on Wheels is, that the mobile Shell travels into a community. It's one of its very first shows was in Smoky City off of Jackson.
Wow.
It was a little pocket park called Mary Elizabeth Malone Park. We pulled it in, neighborhoods all surrounding the little park. We opened the mobile Shell up, which opens hydraulically like a storytelling book, and we opened it up and we started music on it. And the neighbors came out of their house looking around, wondering what it was, came up to us, and they said this to us. They said, "What is this?" And we said, "Well, we're from the Overton Park Shell. We're Shell on Wheels." And they're like, "What is the Overton Park Shell?"
Wow.
A mile away.
Yeah.
And what it showed us was that when we think about access, it has to be intentional. We can't expect people, when we have a transit system with the issues we have, to be able to get to what is open and free and accessible. So it's, to us, access is intentional, going to where people are, and create positivity and joy in our city, wherever in all neighborhoods.
Plus, it makes them feel noticed.
Yes.
Hey, you thought about us and
Yes.
came to us.
Came to
which I
us,
think
yeah.
is fantastic. Speaking of access, because I know it gets very congested in the park.
Yes.
Where do you suggest people park outside, or how do they get in? I know a lot of people ride their bikes in Midtown.
And we love bikes and ride sharing and walking and carpooling because we don't have a parking lot. So it's very limited where people can come to us. But we say it's worth it. If you have to walk in a neighborhood, don't block a neighbor's driveway, park in a place, but it's worth the walk because it is special. But we can't grow to, I say to my team, we talk about it a lot, we can't grow anymore. We are larger than really what we were intended to be, which is a great problem to have.
Yeah, and when you're full, you're full.
We are full. Thousands come, and it's on top of each other.
October 4th is your last one. John Cleary and the Absolute Monster Gentlemen.
What a show that's going to be. Yeah. John has played us. It's been about 5 years ago that John has played us, but it is bringing him back. That band is another one that will rock your socks off. That's another one example of the type of different genres that will come together.
So we were saying earlier, your next show is going to be the September Kutsu King's already played, so and today's the 8th, so September 12th, Shadowgrass. And did it all start at the same time, approximately the same time?
All 7 o'clock. And we tell people you need to come at least an hour early to ensure you can even get in the park, at least. Some of our bigger shows, like the Country Blues Festival, which is in October, you need to come 2 hours early. You have to come early, get your place on the lawn. And, we have, house music playing. We have food trucks. Just enjoy, get a cocktail at the bar and lay back. So you do
have bars there as well as food.
Yep, as food.
Or you can bring your own.
Right,
All
absolutely.
Right. Well, it's another great season cranking up, and congratulations on your success and helping it continue to grow. Although you can't grow, you can make it better.
Yes,
and that's what
absolutely.
You're working on.
Focused on.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Natalie Wilson, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
You bet. We're going to do some magic next, but first you're going to hear from our sponsors, so stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Dawn Grader, President and CEO of Southern Security Federal Credit Union. We're the proud title sponsor of the Earle Farrell for Memphis show, coming to you live from Lansky's in the world-famous Peabody Hotel and celebrating all of the great things about our great city, Memphis, Tennessee.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I'm so proud to be part of the Earle Farrell for Memphis show, streaming live from Lansky's from the Peabody. We will be showcasing not only Napa Cafe, but some great restaurants around town. We look forward to seeing you.
Hello, Memphis Mid-South. And first, I'd like to thank you for visiting with Earle Farrell Memphis today, and we want to support him just like you do. I'm George Gully, one of the sales managers at Jim Carey Chevrolet. We've been in business here in Memphis for over 75 years. I've been associated with the company for almost 25. And I'll help you find the right car, truck, or SUV here at not only our Chevy store, but also Buick, GMC, Nissan, Subaru. We can help you find that right car. Keep watching Earle and come see me. Thanks so much.
Hi, I'm Kathy Thurman Edwards, State Farm, and I'm so excited to be one of the sponsors for the Earle Farrell from Memphis show, broadcasting live from Lansky's at the Peabody. And I'll tell you all about what we've got going on at our office. Gift cards for quotes. No purchase necessary. I'm better looking than a lizard.
Hi, this is Randy Wright from the Dive Shop and Dive Ventures in Memphis. We've been in Memphis over 64 years teaching people to dive, snorkel, and swim. We'd love to have you come join us and have some fun. We're also a part of the Dive Ventures group with 18 locations across the country, stretched from Phoenix to Vienna, Virginia. Please give us a call. We'll be able to take care of you at 999 South Yates in Memphis, or call us at 901-763-DIVE.
Hi, I'm Brett Batterson, President and CEO of the Orpheum Theater Group in downtown Memphis. We are so pleased with our partnership with the Earle Farrell Show and very happy that he is broadcasting live from Lansky's at the historic Peabody Hotel. We're all here to make Memphis better.
Hi, my name is Jameson Totten, and I'm the director of Live at the Garden and the Radiance Amphitheater. And we're so excited for our 25th year of Live at the Garden here at the Memphis Botanic Garden. We've got a great lineup for you this season, so come on out.
Hi, I'm Olivia Wald, Director of Marketing and Communications for Memphis Botanic Garden and Live at the Garden. We've had Earle Farrell right along the way for the past 25 years, and we can't wait to talk more about the season this summer on the Earle Farrell for Memphis show.
So come out to Live at the Garden. Our first show's on June 21st.
Hi, I'm Mitch Wright.
And I'm his son, Mickey.
And we're the owners of Mitch Wright Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And proud sponsors of the Earle Farrell for Memphis show.
We're thankful to be part of the Memphis community. We've been in business for 42 years, taking care of people and loving the people of the Mid-South.
Hey, my name is Jake. I'm with Phoenix Unequaled Home Entertainment. I just wanted to introduce myself and kind of what I do here at Phoenix. I'm a sales engineer. A lot of the times we talk about home theaters, but there's so much more that we offer. We offer a lot of home security solutions, as well as water detection and everything. So if you guys ever need anything, give us a call. We'll get you guys fixed up.
And welcome back. Joining me now is Joe M. Turner, who is a magician and a mentalist. And I asked him, I said, can you read my mind? I said, don't answer that question. Welcome to the show, Joe.
Thank you, Earl.
We actually met a couple of weeks ago. We were leaving after doing the show here, and you were standing at the check-in area talking to somebody here at the Peabody.
Yes.
And saying that that you're a magician, but you play the piano. You'll be playing the piano in the lobby tonight.
Exactly. The piano just a short distance behind you. I'll be on from 8 to 11.
If we pause in talking, you'll hear music coming from that piano because it also plays itself, but you actually take over and do it yourself.
I do indeed. It's a privilege to get to do that here.
And then you're also, your main deal is a magician, and you do all kinds of corporate things. You do restaurants. I was reading, you do a thing in between sets of belly dancers at a local.
Well, that is a first for me. You are correct. My real job is magic for 25 years, mostly corporate events. I was approached by Sufi's restaurant in Germantown recently. They have this. They're in Mediterranean, Middle Eastern.
Where is that located?
It's on Poplar Pike, next to the high school.
Okay, I know exactly where it is.
It's wonderful. Yes. The food is delicious. But they said, we have these belly dancers, but we would love for you to do magic at the tables between. And I was like, I beg your pardon. Look at me. I'm 55 and there's nothing about my belly that you want to see. But they were like, no, you don't have to dance. Just do the magic. So I'm doing some tableside entertainment there and at Tony's Trophy Room in Collierville. I've been performing there. But those are all sort of side things to stay for fun.
How did you get into magic? Because most of the people I've ever known that got into magic started as a very young person. And what was it about it that just amazed you?
Well, I did, like most of us do, we did get into it. I was very young, 5 or 6 years old. I remember seeing Doug Henning, the sort of the hippie magician, come on NBC. And I got a little book. Back in those days, you had these little board books from Disney, and there was like movies turned into small storybooks. But one of them was Mickey's Magic Book, and my mom and dad got me that, and it just stuck. And I was really into magic for a couple of years as a child, and then I came back to it as a teenager, left it aside, pursued other things, a real-life corporate job, and other things we can talk about later. But magic crept back into my life in my late 20s and took over.
And I've seen some of your presentations when you're doing corporate things. You really incorporate the company and what their theme for at a conference into your act. So
absolutely,
you make it pertinent. And
well, yeah, that sort of happened along the way. Before I was in magic, I was in management consulting. And some of my magic clients found out that I had this background in communication planning, and they said, could you use what you do to sort of set the table for our conversation about these topics during this conference? And that one thing led to another, and I started doing custom work for trade show exhibits and product launches and things like that.
Well, I think the advantage you had was that you were actually in corporate America, and you knew how boring a lot of that stuff was. And so how do you take and get people's attention and keep their attention? Because that's the whole purpose of the conference. And if they're not paying attention, it's a waste of everybody's time.
Time, money, venue, travel, everything. I think the natural advantage that magic has is if you come from a sales background, the pattern interrupt. The pattern interrupt is where you get the person off of their objections and you start getting them to talk about the things that you want to talk about. Well, magic is by its nature. It is a pattern interrupt for the world. The world stops working the way you think. Well, now you've got their attention, and the messages that you drop into those moments can be remembered.
In fact, when I was young in school, junior high, high school, I had practice interruption. I would interrupt classes with humor, and because, and I would always start off with a legitimate question, but then turn it. Mm-hmm. And, of course, then the class would laugh, and they would say, is that worth 3 licks, Earl? I went, I think it was.
Well,
so
it
is part of it's a showbiz thing that you obviously had a talent for, and it became apparent to you that this could work well in my advantage.
Absolutely. I would say that, I studied to be a physics teacher. So working with magic in a classroom or a training environment or as a professional speaker, where I take my own messages and use magic to deliver them, it's very effective because it breaks people's expectations that they're going to see 50 slides on a PowerPoint. And it just, now I've got them.
Yeah.
They're very receptive.
Well, you got some stuff you're going to do for us today.
I did bring a little magic to share with you and the viewers. And the thing is, when you do magic on screen, a television or a podcast or anything, the natural response is, well, they set that up, right? And so I was thinking, well, what could I do for your viewers that it wouldn't matter? And so I'm just going to tell you right up front, we did come in early, and I got Kathy to sign a couple of playing cards. And then I also signed them, and you can see that. And I'm going to ask Kathy to come on screen with me now. And if you'll take one, and you got the blue one, and I got the red one. And I'd like you to fold your card in half. Okay. That's perfect. So, and she's doing hers taco style.
There you go.
So I'll do mine hot dog style. So there, she got and so there's 2 ways to fold a card. And there's 2 ways to put one card inside another. I could put the long card inside the short card like that. Or we could put the short card inside the long card like this. And we folded them with the backs on the outside, but we could have folded them with the backs on the inside. Now you can see there's her signature on the card. And it's right inside. As we pass it through this card, it's going to go back in time. About 30 seconds ago, this card was folded the other way around. So watch carefully on your screen. As it comes through the top, you'll see that it changes.
Wow.
And it's folded back the other way around. And that is, in fact, her queen, her signed queen. You can see it as it goes through and changes again. No matter what you do, as it passes through, look at that, as it passes through, even at a diagonal. And people are really like, well, what's going on inside there? So Kathy, could I ask you to hold your hand out right in front of me on the table here? We'll just stop it right there. The only way to stop it is to destroy it, but we'll open it right there, and you can see that it really is half one way and half the other.
Wow.
The card that she signed. And you can keep that, Kathy, as a little souvenir of our time together. And if you put that under your pillow tonight, then when you wake up in the morning, there will be $100.
Not if I wake up first.
Thank you for helping. So isn't that fun?
It is.
It's a visual change of something that you wouldn't expect to happen. The world stops working the way that you expect it to at that moment. Now, that moment that could launch into any kind of conversation about transformation or what's inside being most important, right? Bringing what's inside to the outside. So you could use it to motivate, you could use it to advertise, there's any number. And so I try to apply that thinking to all kinds of my corporate work.
You know, I've always loved magicians. My son does, Kathy does. And we go to see these acts, and sometimes they'll make a Harrier jump jet appear on stage.
Oh, yes, the big grand illusions.
But do you find that the smaller illusions are just as impressive to people because it's right in front of their eyes, right there?
I tend to think that it can be more powerful. I've seen some of I've seen Copperfield and the big tours and things, and there's no question about some of the stuff he does is just beautiful, but I do regularly get the feedback that I've seen it on TV, but I always think maybe it could be a camera trick, or if I had that box on those wheels on that stage, maybe something, but I've never, if they experience it in their own hands, it's tangible and just immediate.
Are adults more transfixed or children? Because I think a lot of adults think they know everything, and then when they can't figure it out, they go, how did you do that?
Well, I work mostly for adults, so my experience with children, some of the best children's performers I know, they might have a different answer than I do, but I think if you've achieved a certain amount of sophistication, a certain amount of if you're jaded just enough with the world the way it is, then seeing the world in a different way can be more powerful. Children are very excited and they respond verbally with shouting and screaming and cheering and clapping. Adults, when you baffle them and just rock their world, they get very quiet at that moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful sound.
I saw a magician at the University of Texas football training camp here just recently. And he got out there, and it was before the season started, and the coach wanted to go in there and just do some things that would kind of amaze them and let them know that no matter what you think is possible, there's always something that can happen that you didn't think is possible.
Absolutely.
And they were just slack-jawed, and they would go wild over it because they think they know everything. They're big, tough football players.
Well,
and then somebody comes along and does something, and they go, okay, you got me on that one.
Well, but whether you're a football player or a C-level executive or a teacher or a musician or whatever it is that you are, underneath all of it, you're a human being. And you communicate and process the world around you in certain ways, and magic taps into that.
You've got a show coming up on September. This is already September 23rd, right?
Tuesday, 2 weeks.
I'm going to hold this up, and Beth can get a shot of that. It is, if I can get it going in the right direction.
Yep. Memphis Magic Night.
And you've also got Sanjay
Manaktala. Sanjay. This Memphis Magic Night is a project that I started here in Memphis. I'm new to the city. I moved here about 16 months ago. From Atlanta, where I've been doing magic full-time for all these years. And so I thought, well, I want to put something together that's a regular magic experience in Memphis. So I started Memphis Magic Night. It's once a month, a public show at a different venue somewhere around the city. And so the September show is going to be at Coletta's on Appling. It's the first time I've been out of Midtown, frankly, to do a show. And I have a different local comedian. I try to get all local performances. So I have a different local comedian open for me, 20 minutes clean.
Cool. The other Coletta store, the original, is on South Parkway. And that is also where Elvis used to go play poker in the back room. And I've heard the story, and Jerry Coletta confirmed it, that one night Elvis was back there after they'd closed, and Jerry Lee pulls up in his limo and wants to come in and get a pizza. So they go back and ask Elvis, hey, Jerry wants to come in. Should we let him in? He goes, no, man. Tell him he should wait in the car or you'll bring one out to him. and Jerry never knew it. His whole life, and nobody ever told the story. But it was there's probably still some magic left there, and the room still exists, and they call it the Elvis room.
Well, I need to check into that. I was talking to Stephen about doing it out at Appling, and so that's where the one in September will be. In October, I'll be at Hernando's Hideaway. Speaking of Elvis and Jerry,
we were just there the other night. Yeah.
Celine and Dale were on with you guys.
Watson.
Ago. So I'll be with them doing my show.
Well, apparently you're hitting all the right spots. You're on my show. You're here at the Peabody tonight.
Well, I wasn't born yesterday. I'm trying to be strategic in the way that I place myself around the city so people know that I'm available in different places, and there's some credibility associated with the people.
Did you look at any other cities? Well, I think you have relatives. Your wife has
moved
family
here. My wife and I moved here in 24 to be closer to her family and slightly closer to mine. I'm from Mississippi, down near Jackson, a little town called Brandon, Mississippi. And so we're a little bit closer to our roots here, but we're especially close to her family.
Well, and you got the heck out of it, because I came here from Dallas and I left because of the traffic. Atlanta's, if it's not worse, at least just as bad.
Well, I was in Atlanta for 31 years, so I know all the ways around it.
Yeah.
So by the time we left, I had pretty well gotten able to get where I needed to be, but it can be really terrible. But I will say, I think I have been amazed at some of the daredevils on the Memphis freeways who will go across all the lanes of traffic. It's like, there's my exit, and they'll go straight across.
Yeah.
So that's an
They're not daredevils. They're crazy. Is what they are.
I was being diplomatic.
Do you have anything else you could show us?
Well, sure. I'll show you guys something else if you want to see. I did bring a full deck of cards.
Okay.
And if I asked you to name a random playing card out loud, there's all of them. What card would you say?
How about 7 of spades?
Now, can I ask you why you said the 7 of spades?
Because I saw it when you held up the cards a minute ago. As you fanned them, I saw the 7 of spades.
But that's a random choice. I'm going to cut to one card, and you'll see right there. That is the 3 of diamonds.
Yeah.
It's not the 7 of spades. But if I just cover it up with any
Wow.
We'll change it to one card, the 7 of spades, which raises a very interesting question, and that is what happened to that 3 of diamonds.
Yes.
And you'll be interested to know that the 3 of diamonds just jumped in. So there's a little more sleight of hand for you.
Do you, when you go see another magician, do you watch this thing and you try to figure it out? I mean, it is sleight of hand. That's what we're talking about here.
Well, part of it, yeah.
An illusion. To create illusion, but also to create illusion, you often have to have a distraction. So there's a real psychology at work with magic, and that's what I've always been intrigued with. I mean, the only trick I ever really figured out was the one where you wad up a piece of paper, and right in front of somebody's eyes, you open your hand and show it to them, then you pick them up like this, and you throw it over their head so they don't see it, and then you go like that, and they're just amazed. Of course, they're 5 years old,
Well,
and these are not smart people.
Well, I mean, kids I find much more observant than adults. So if you can get a magic trick past a kid, you're doing a good job. You hit on the word distraction and misdirection. I really think it's important that it's not necessarily a visual misdirection, but you give their brain something else to focus on. So it's not necessarily watch the birdie or look, Elvis is in the building or something. It's more that the way you give them the things that they need to think about in the correct order, and that gives you the flexibility to do what you need to do. And I do sometimes get fooled. I love being fooled by other magicians. There's other magicians here in Memphis that I interact with on a regular basis, and we have a great time.
Well, I think that's part of entertainment, is do something I can't do. Show me something. Everybody wants to be shown something. In fact, Ken Hall, one of our viewers, says, "Can you make Earle disappear? Asking for a friend."
Ken, we need him. That's not fair.
I'm filling a role here, Ken. You'll be here soon, and you want me here. Although he could fill in for me, and has many times. But
we're not going to do that.
No. You may move me, but not make me disappear. And once again, you'll be appearing tonight here in the lobby of the Peabody?
Yes, I'm very lucky that I've been asked to do music and a little close-up magic here. During my breaks, I'll go around and do some magic in the lobby or in the corner bar, wherever I'm playing. Tonight, I'll be on 8 to 11 in the lobby.
So great having you here. And how long will you be doing this? Is this a regular thing? Or
Memphis Magic Night is monthly. We've got them booked through the end of the year. My website is turnermagic.com. The show is memphismagicnight.com, so go ahead and book your tickets.
Joe M. Turner, thank you for coming by. It was a pleasure meeting you and good to get to know you.
Earle, a pleasure.
teach me a couple of tricks, I'll go amaze kids in the neighborhood. And
we'll get it done.
Send them your way.
Anytime.
All right. That is our show for today. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.